NITT viewers, I am DS and welcome to another episode on Channel NITT. So in one of our previous episodes, we talked about the various factors that do not favor the building of resilience in children nowadays. So in this episode, we are going to focus on 5 strategies that parents can use to help to build resilience in their children. Do take note that the strategies that I'm recommending in this video are very generic ones. So take what you can take and implement, be creative. Compared to the children of previous generations, the children of today are generally less resilient than the children of yesterday. And there are a lot of factors that do not favor the building of resilience because things come too easy nowadays.
Easy come, easy go, that's just how you live.
However, training resilience is still possible. So I have 5 tips for you today. Tip number 1. Do not overprotect your child. This seems very easy, but really very hard for some parents to do.
Nobody said it was easy.
So some parents do receive calls from schools telling them that their child is involved in a fight. Immediately they will go down and check and find out what happens and try to solve the problem for the child. And if their child is bullied, they will demand justice from the other child's family. So generally, parents are doing everything for their child. And not only that, they are also very protective of their child. So when I mean overprotective, I mean that parents nowadays try to shield their children from harm, from criticisms, from anything negative. Children may be groomed in an environment where everything is artificially censored. Presume a mother is walking along the road with a child and one person bangs onto the child accidentally. The mother will scold this stranger immediately. What she is doing is being overprotective. Instead of conveying the message to the child that accidents like this are very normal but could be avoided, the child learns that the mother is there to take care of everything.
Everything I do it for you.
Do you think a child like that will learn resilience?
No,
No, because mommy will do everything for me. Mommy protects me. So be careful of the latent messages you are conveying to your child. Resilience tip number 2. Expose your child to multiple skills and interests.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Using a very simple example, let's consider the helicopter parent. So there might be helicopter parents in China, Korea, and Japan. These countries are very competitive when it comes to studying. So 24/7 the child is made to study and the entire world only revolves around studying. So at the end of the day, the child can become a doctor, but he knows no social skills, he knows no other skills except studying. And that is a time where the whole world starts to crumble because this child knows nothing beyond studying. So in a similar way, Singaporean children are very into gaming and they only know gaming. This is very unhealthy and does not help in building resilience at all. So parents, take note. Try to expose your child to as many different interests and skill sets as possible. So you can consider using the token economy program. So I have produced a lot of token economy program videos already. So you can take a look how to use them and how to use them effectively.
Think about it seriously, you know it makes sense.
Now tip number 3. To get your child to become resilient, you must allow and encourage social activities outside that of your family. Now what do I mean by outside your family? So social interactions within your family is not good enough because they are, after all, your family members. So when you are playing a game of Monopoly with your own family members, you can cheat, you can throw a die, and then actually you won a 5, but then you get a 12 and you say, no, I don't want, I want to throw again. Your family members might say that's okay because it's your family after all. But imagine you were really playing with a group of friends, it would have been a totally different scenario.
Play fair, nigga, we don't play fair.
So it could be a tuition teacher, it could be a guest in the house, it could be anybody outside your family. Get your child to learn some social skills, and in turn, they can build resilience. Because it is through this kind of interactions that they get to know how they should behave properly in real situations. And only in real situations do they encounter a sense of failure, do they encounter some sense of defeat and learning, and that's where they learned. Tip number 4 to teach your child resilience. Tip number 4 is to challenge your child progressively. Now, a person masters resilience when he or she is able to face adversity undeterred, which means to say, he is not going to give up, she is not going to give up. Which means to say, they must first experience failure. The experience of failure is essential. And the faith that you can overcome failure is also something essential in the mastery of resilience. What this means is that a person who has resilience is able to face up to challenges. So you must give your child challenges. But of course, you must do it progressively.
Step by step, ooh, baby.
So if your child is only scoring 50, you cannot expect your child to suddenly score 80 or 90. So make sure that you par according to very reasonable, achievable increments. And of course, you can use the token economy program to assist you.
The house I live in, the car I'm driving.
Finally, we have tip number 5. Now, tip number 5 is very simple. Children do learn by observation. So, you must set a good example to your child. True resilience can only be learned via real life situations. You can't expect a child to be exposed to a lot of real life situations, right? So what you can do is go and share some of your real life situation stories. Tell your child about your own struggles, your own challenges, some of your successes and failures. And this will expose your child to this dimension of being able to cope with challenges and failures.
When I speak, 'cause you don't listen when I talk.
This is something that parents usually do not do. They just go home, have dinner with the children, then maybe play and monitor their homework for a while. You could spare some time to talk to your child about your personal life, your history, how you were like when you were a child, or your work life now. All this does help to build resilience slowly.
The story of my life, I give her up.
And when I talk about slowly, it's very essential because you cannot build resilience overnight.
I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking of the right words to say.
Regardless of whether you are an educator or a parent, I hope you found this video useful, and if you do find it useful, do give it a like, or you can also comment so that we can produce what you might like to see in the future.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna.
And if you have not subscribed to us, do consider subscribing to us. We are a psychology-based channel that produces videos on parenting, psychological principles, and personality, and we hope that in every video you get to learn something. Okay, we have a lot more videos like this down the road, and we look forward to see you over there. And I'm going to sign off now. I will see you in my next episode. Goodbye.